Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today I want to talk to you about boundaries, which can be a little bit tricky. So what they are, how to set them, and how to really honor them. So basically, a boundary is a self-honoring agreement that you either make inside yourself or with another person that supports your emotional well-being and self-care. So sometimes the boundaries are really up to us. We set these internal boundaries. For example, if you have someone in your life and you notice whenever you're around them, they're kind of defeating and your energy goes down and maybe they're even a little bit toxic, you set a boundary with yourself to only see them once a month or once every couple months. So that's the boundary that you set and you honor inside yourself. Sometimes we need boundaries with other people. So let's take an example of, you've got that really nosy person in your life who's always asking you, what's going on in your career? Who are you dating? Or what's happening in your love life? And you notice yourself feeling resentful and like every time they ask you, you just feel this feeling. Then it may be time to set a boundary with that person and say, listen, I know you're asking me because you care about me, but I'd really appreciate it if you just stop asking me about my love life or career, whatever it is. And I promise you that when there's an update, I will tell you. So why it's important to set these boundaries is because if we don't, then we kind of become a doormat or we end up resenting people. If we just kind of put on the nice face and the people-pleasing face and we don't make those self-honoring choices and don't set boundaries, then we're not being fully honest in our relationship. Now here's the trickiest thing about boundaries, and I see this with so many of my clients. We talk about how to set them, what the difference is between boundaries and barriers, and I'll come back to that. And they're ready to go and they have the language, but then they don't do it. Why? Well, because they want the other person to like it. They want the other person to be okay with it. They want the other person, when they say, please don't ask me about my love life anymore, the other person to go, okay, no problem, totally get it. But sometimes the reaction of the other person is like, why? I don't understand. They might get upset. And that's something that we have to deal with when setting boundaries, is that the other person may not like it at first. They may resist it and push on it, and you have to even hold it stronger. Eventually, if the relationship is for the highest good, the person will respect it and the relationship will become healthier because there's honest communication and no resentment. But please don't wait to set boundaries until you think the other person's going to be okay with it. Because boundaries are not about people pleasing. They're not about making the other person happy. They're about self-honoring choices and taking care of you. So what's the difference between a boundary and a barrier? A barrier is when you just put up a wall. And oftentimes when we don't set boundaries early in a relationship, we let someone push and push and push and push, and then whoop, we throw up a wall, throw up a barrier, cut them out of our life, or just kind of go stone face on them. That's not loving. That's from the place of judgment. That's really not having the courage and the honesty to set the boundary, but throwing up a barrier instead and just cutting someone out of your life. So that's why I encourage boundaries. They do come more from a place of love and from a place of self-honoring choices. So I want you to think about that in your life. What are you tolerating? What are you accepting in your life that's not healthy? If you have an explosive personality in your life, someone that yells or someone that says judgmental or critical things to you, and you go, oh, well, I'm just accepting them. That's just who they are. I can just be loving. Well, it's not loving for you to continue to take that in. Acceptance doesn't mean keeping yourself in situations that are unhealthy. Acceptance means, okay, I accept you for who you are. I can respect that, but I'm removing myself from this situation or even from this relationship to make that self-honoring choice. So I support you. I encourage you. Look at where there need to be some boundaries, either internal agreements with yourself or agreements that you make with other people. Know that it's a self-honoring choice. Know that people may not like it. They may be not okay with it and may be upset with you. And that's how we get strong. That's how we build that inner strength. Other people's upset is not yours to fix. Sending you so much light and many blessings. I'll see you next week.